Hello. Thanks for your patience. I was having some issues with OBS there. Happens every time that I set up a new overlay. Um, Welcome in. This is the first session of our One Ring campaign, Shadows of the North, where we will be playing the One Ring Second Edition, and playing out a fairly long campaign in the lands of Eriador in the northwestern reaches of Middle-earth. I'm gonna let my players introduce themselves and introduce their characters, and then we can start our first adventure in Middle-earth. So I'm gonna start with Emma.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Emma, also known as Goth Hoblin on Twitter. Today I'm playing Bridget of Dale, who is a young huntress who has travelled very far from home in search of some adventure and to test herself against some more formidable enemies than just her local wildlife.
David, Mr. Enzio.
Yes, I am Mr. Enzio, and I play Borin, Orcbane. He's traveled all the way from the mountains to find orcs to slay, pretty much. He doesn't like orcs, so he travels around to keep things safe from the orc threat. I don't have much else, to be honest.
Just keep it straightforward. I kill orcs. It's all good.
My thing is killing orcs.
Cool. Mash.
Hi, I'm Mashashi. I'm on a few shows, returning from Fractured Crystals, which is usually on here. I play Pearl Took, who has left the Shire following the trails of a dwarf named Borin, whom she happened upon and has become quite fond of. Her Tookish blood has instilled in her a bit of a need for adventure, and she's here to have some fun.
Cool. Roddy.
Hi, I'm Roddy, known as PunkDrum77 across all of the internet, including Twitch. I'm returning to another game on Andy's channel after being off for about a month to attend lots of music festivals. And today, in this campaign, I'll be playing Sydney Roselight, who's one of the men of Bree. His assigned job in that town was one of the gatekeepers. However, being the gatekeeper, he would have most interaction with the people walking by and coming to the town every now and again. So he heard a lot of stories of things going on out and about outside of Bree. And whereas a lot of Bree men and people don't really care about what happens outside Bree, the various stories he'd start to hear from other travellers changed his mind, and that to him, in order to protect this town that he's grown up in, he's got to venture out there and see what else is going on in Middle-earth.
Cool. Dolphin.
So I'm playing Yer, no last name as of yet. She's a dwarf, and she has decided to go for a bit of a wander. She gets a bit bored sitting around, doing nothing, twiddling her thumbs, braiding her hair. So she decided to go knock some heads together and find out what's on the road. And that's kind of all I have for her.
Cool. And what glorious hair she has.
Beautiful hair. All the ringlets and curls.
Ringlets, curls, braids in the beard.
Yep.
A rival for Borin.
And Steve.
Hey, I'm Steve. I'm coming back from Anima as well. Used to play Zane. In this, I am playing Idril, a ranger of the north. Currently no surname. And I've just spent my time wandering kind of like all the lands, helping the common folk, and doing what I can to keep evil at bay. And as it stands, that's pretty much all I've got.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm also returning from Anima. Played Takio. The drunk samurai.
It's okay. I think we'll probably learn a little bit more about the characters and stuff as we go through the campaign. But like many good adventures set in the lands of Middle-earth, this one has its role to play in the small town of Bree, which sits in a crossroads in Eriador, a short travel away from the Shire, where halflings live in peace and quiet, away from most of the darker creatures that reside in the world. And like those other adventures that take place in Middle-earth, this one also has its beginnings in the Inn of the Prancing Pony. It's been 20 years since the fall of the Dragon Smog in the Wilderland, and the reclamation of the kingdom under the mountain of Erebor. And 20 years since a council of the wise in Rivendell went out and cleared the ruins of Dol Guldur. But both of those things have happened far across the Misty Mountains in the east. And Eriador, during the past 20 years, has prospered, has benefited from these distant, far-off events. Of course, the Hobbit Bilbo Baggins came back through here with carts full of gold from Erebor, which has led to some level of prosperity within the Shire. And trade has been able to commence between the Blue Mountains in the west and Erebor in the east, with the dwarfs passing regularly through the lands of Bree. This night, like so many others, the Prancing Pony is busy with mostly Bree folk, but there are travellers from far and wide here to enjoy a pint of good ale, some good conversation about what may lie on the roads east and west of the town. The six of you have travelled somewhat in the past together. And one thing binds the six of you together, and that is that you have all met, and if you can say that you've befriended a wizard, you have all made friends with the wizard Gandalf the Grey. However, this adventure doesn't involve the Grey Wizard, but it will involve the six of you. Now, the Bree folk here in the Prancing Pony are quite lively this evening in conversation about a recent scandal in the town. There's been a death recently within the town of Bree that has sparked this scandal. Alright, I'm forgetting NPC names, goddammit.
What is the NPC called?
NPC name number 1. Okay.
NPC number 4, you're right. Brian.
Pretty much.
Someone in the chat said
In the last week, a man from the town of Bree, Timaeus Heatherton, has passed away. Timaeus had a bit of a reputation in his youth for being a bit of an adventurer. Although his tales not quite as grand as those of Bilbo Baggins in the Shire, he did return from these adventures somewhat wealthier than they set off. Although, from those of you who are familiar with Bree, who live here or live nearby. Unlike Bilbo Baggins, Timaeus didn't have a reputation for being overly generous with the coin that he gained from his adventuring.
Was he a greedy bugger, basically?
Not so much greedy, just he liked to be a little bit more sparing with the wealth instead of Bilbo throws extravagant parties every year for his birthday. Timaeus did none of that. He would give his family coin from time to time to make life a little easier for them. But what has made this situation scandalous is the funeral, which was only 2 days ago, was lacking an important family member. Timaeus's nephew, Thomas, who he was quite close to, failed to attend his uncle's funeral. And if rumour is true, after the funeral was said and done, Timaeus's brother Nick found his son rummaging through his late brother's house, seemingly looking for, well, where his old uncle had hidden a stash of treasure from his previous adventures in life.
Oh boy.
Since that day, though, Thomas has not been seen around Bree. And the whole situation, as I've mentioned, is a scandal. All the Bree folk, even 2 days after the funeral, are still talking about it.
The rumour mill never stops here.
Now I'm going to pass it to you, so you can voice, but maybe your character's opinions on the local gossip at the moment. You can get a feel for your characters in character, and a feel for each other's characters as well. So you have a table here in the Prancing Pony, despite how busy it may be. And yeah, you've probably been here for at least a week as well. So you probably were aware of when Timaeus died, the funeral when it happened. If you're from Bree, you probably attended that funeral.
My character probably did not.
Yeah, if you're a stranger, you probably wouldn't have been welcome anyway.
Yeah.
As is the nature of Bree folk.
Bree folk, yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to pass it to you.
My character just takes a swig. Tankard.
Pearl copies him and also takes a swig.
So I, Sydney, am sitting at the table, kind of head lowered a bit, and just I say, swear, if I hear the words, names Timaeus, Thomas, and Nick again this evening, I'm going to throw my pint across the room. Oh, I'm sick of the rumours in this town. Oh.
I agree with that. I've heard enough of that crap.
My whole thing is like, Sydney is kind of sick of how people are in Bree. Like, rumour got, like, gossip mongering, but don't ever, like, leave and stuff like that. I need to a little bit, like, enough of it, please.
Yeah.
It's normal then for people to gossip for so long.
This is only the start. Watch it. In 2 weeks' time, this will have grown so many arms and legs it will resemble several spiders.
I've definitely seen some spider rumors.
Not literal spiders, figurative.
Yes.
Watch it. In 2 weeks' time, there will have been at least 2 affairs involved in this entire situation, and he'll have been, like, come back to life and been murdered again, or something like that. I don't know, but it'll have grown so many arms and legs that it'll be ridiculous.
The stories always grow.
As you're talking about the story growing arms and legs, any of you who are listening in to what some of the gossip can give me a riddle roll.
What?
A
Riddle.
riddle. Yeah.
Is that anyone but me? I take it. Yeah.
Anyone but you, because you're
Yeah.
currently.
Yeah.
I'll have a listen.
Expounding on this town.
Yeah.
Let's see if I do this
Oh,
right.
did you say that?
My character is actually pretty good at riddles, apparently.
Okay.
Where?
It's
Uh,
a failure.
Failure.
Guess I'm
How do we
wrong.
know what we've rolled actually?
It
Apparently it's
gives you the
considered-
total on the bottom diamond.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Apparently got a total of 17.
Okay.
So your target number was 16.
Yeah.
So yeah, all your target numbers will be different based off of whatever
Yeah,
skill
so-
it comes under, whatever
Okay.
attribute.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
wits is the one that sort of governs your riddle. Boring.
Okay.
Just as Sydney is talking about how this story will grow arms and legs, giving it a few weeks, you can't help but overhear one drunk fellow talking about the situation, kind of sputtering and slurring into his drink. Oh, Timaeus was murdered. And the murderer wasn't no human. No. I seen some strange lights outside old Timaeus's house in a few nights leading up to his death. Bloody ghosts that took him. Ghosts from when he was an adventurer.
Like, Bourne looks over that direction and he says, well, you weren't kidding about legs and arms. Say, weren't you going to throw your tankard across the room?
Someone try and catch it. It's like, don't waste good beer.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think Pearl would probably just like to throw it. Just because you'd said. So she's like, "What? I throw it," and she's like, "Okay," drinks it, and then just yeets it across the rock. You use her
Wait, Pearl.
tanker.
You throw your
Right.
pint glass, or as we all know, hobbits only get half pint theorem break.
Yeah.
You throw your half pint across the room, and it hits and splatters all over the table in the back corner, where there seems to be a rather sullen-faced dwarf sitting, who rather firmly puts his own tankard down on the table, looks up at it towards you, grumbles something about hobbits, then wipe the ale from his mustache and gets up and heads upstairs.
At this point, Bourne is like also muttering something about hobbits.
Pearl's just like, "Was that what you wanted me to do? Yeah, and sits back down.
No,
Bill's chuckling quietly to himself.
please don't do that again.
I'm just devastated you wasted pretty good ale, so.
It was only a half pint. It's fine.
Ale!
Only
Still, it's ale!
Ah,
Don't waste it.
bloody hell. Takes another swig. He'll
yeah,
I have a feeling we shouldn't be seeing that.
I don't know how to make it secret, but
Yeah, I can tell. Oh boy.
okay.
Not like a private role thing or something?
Not for tables, it doesn't seem.
okay.
There probably is a way to do it, but not figured it out. It's alright. I'm just playing around with the. I forgot to plug that in for random, but I already rolled a random set of guests earlier. But on top of, all the conversations going on in the tavern about Timaeus and Thomas and Nicholas and the whole family, and where there's speculation about where Timaeus got his wealth, the stories about who and how and where he went adventuring when he was a younger man are all very different, and all have the aforementioned arms and legs grown out of them.
Yeah. Borin says these guys should get out in the world and see some real problems.
Tell me about it.
Like orcs. Damn orcs.
Adventuring life isn't for everyone. Not everyone's cut out for it.
No.
And while there are, your usual Bree folk, for the most part, in terms of outsiders to Bree, 5 out of 6 of you at least are pretty much the most of the outsiders, other than the aforementioned dwarf that went upstairs. There is another smaller band of dwarfs, all having a quiet drink, not really bothering themselves with all of the commotion going on. One of the dwarfs, however, looks, even for the 2 dwarfs in your company, he looks ancient. Like, he probably shouldn't be travelling old.
Damn.
Is he prominent enough for them to recognise?
It doesn't seem to be anyone of any great renown amongst the dwarfs, just very, very old. Very, very tired looking. Even with the noise going on here in the Prancing Pony, his eyes are already starting to kind of fold down on themselves as he starts to nod off to sleep in his own pint.
Yep. Like,
Tempted to buy him something stronger and go over and just go, any good arms and legs stories to tell us? Look like you've seen a few.
The heavy, thick, almost furry eyebrows sort of poke up.
Killers.
Is that a drink for me, lass?
If you tell me a good story, it's all yours.
I'm afraid that I don't have many good stories to tell. Quite a sad story, in fact. I've barely lived my whole life and barely left the Blue Mountains. My nephew and some of his business partners have been so kind to allow me to travel with them to Erebor. I always wanted to see the kingdom under the mountain before my time comes.
yep.
Well, I'm guessing this is your lucky day since you've got a trip out there just now. It seems. Hopefully, you'll live long enough to see it, eh? I'll just give him a whack on the back.
Hopefully. Seeing the Misty Mountains would be something, at least if I don't make it as far as Erebor.
That killed me.
God.
Such a pessimist, this dwarf.
Yeah.
Oh, you might die before you get there, but good luck.
At least I might see the Blue Mountains before I die. Yeah.
One of the younger dwarfs with him sort of gives him a pat on the shoulder. Okay, Uncle, we'll make sure you see Erebor.
Okay.
Brilliant. That's amazing.
But as
Pearl.
Ear is over giving this drink to this elderly dwarf, you hear a little bit of a commotion in amongst the crowd of Bree folk. As one drunk man starts to adamantly proclaim that Timaeus, he knew he was going to die. He owed me 6 coppers. You know how You know how I knew he was going to die? He paid the Undertaker well ahead of time, but he didn't have the decency to give me 6 lousy coppers.
Is he being like very loud about
Very loud, very angry about it, very drunk about it.
Right. Is he disturbing other people, shall we say?
He's disturbing my character. My character, like, that's not
Right.
okay.
Is he disturbing other people to the point where this could erupt into like a bar fight?
A few people are,
Yeah.
you know, maybe nodding in agreement, like, yeah, that's totally the sort of person that Timaeus was. Other people are trying to calm him down. Maybe you've had too much to drink, maybe you should go home. If you come home any more drunk than you already are, your wife is going to end up beating you with the rolling pin, sort of.
Yeah.
But as he's making all this noise, there's more commotion in the tavern as an older man who Sydney you recognise as being Ernest Mugwort sort of wakes up from a sleep and knocks over a load of empty tankards and some half-full ones.
Oh, no.
Bloody
God.
rangers crept into my barn.
I want to leave.
The best tavern we have, but locals.
Only
Come on,
tavern
man,
you've
this is awesome. Have another drink. Let's go dancing. Do you want to do a jig? Let's do a jig, Boren. Let's do it. Let's do it.
No.
Lively jig. I'll join you.
Yay!
Let's try and link arms with the drunk guy as well. Get him involved.
the drunk guy sort of.
Oh no, they're dancing with Ernest. Oh no.
He looks confused as, like, obviously you're a dwarf and Peryl's a hobbit and it's like 2 tiny arms come up and reach him.
Can anyone remember the jig from the movie?
It was definitely on top of a table.
It was on top of a table. Right, up we go.
Are you dancing on a table in front of Borin?
Yes. He wouldn't dance with me, so I'm dancing in his vicinity.
Ernest will stumble with help from Peryl and Year up onto the table. He'll try and do a jig. He ends up just sitting down in between the two of you on the table, looking a little bit dizzy and confused.
Oh, can you get down from the goddamn table?
Why would rangers sneak into my barn?
Hey, why would they? As I'm still dancing around him.
Pearl, get down from the table.
I just sort of, for
Fine.
I look across at Idril and say, "Why would rangers sneak into someone's barn?"
Maybe to sleep somewhere?
Hiding from
Most
someone or
most.
rest. How did you speak to the rangers in your barn?
No, I knew it was rangers. The hay smelt wrong for days afterwards.
Who's sniffing hay?
And how do rangers smell?
Wrong, apparently.
They smell. They smell quite bad, you know, from all that time out on the road. Not a bath in sight.
Idril, will you tell him or will I?
You can tell.
How do you think my companion Idril here smells?
They smell like a person.
They're a ranger.
Yes.
Not a ranger.
I'm a ranger.
You don't smell.
Aye, he's a ranger,
And I don't smell.
and he doesn't even smell.
And any of the rangers I've met, being, as you know, Ernest, one of the gatekeepers here of Bree, stay at the inns.
Idril, can you give me a lore check?
I can do.
I really
Do
wanted to
rangers
say-
stay? Success!
Yeah.
Um,
I really wanted to say donkey.
now, you ignoring that he's downright like being insulting towards you. um, you start to kind of put two and two together. Bad smell, sleeping in a barn. By all accounts, they made quite a mess in the barn. Not as common this close to Brie, but sometimes you're aware that trolls will sleep in barns or other seemingly empty places to avoid the sunlight.
Mm.
Is our resident troll expert, would Borin also know that?
Is Borin a troll expert?
Was he not a troll smasher? Orc smasher. Oh, shit.
Orc smasher.
Yeah, he's an orc smasher. Yeah.
I knew it was one. Okay, I was close.
I wonder if
Yeah.
my character may have come across a troll in her travels.
I guess I'm boring Trollbane now.
Possibly.
But yeah, I don't think I have knowledge on trolls.
Sorry, I mixed
So
it
it's
up.
fine.
Is there? Oh no! Oh no! Oh
In fact,
no!
I'm not even sure if my character knows all that much about orcs.
I'm getting called out by chat.
You know how to kill them. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. I know that a good orc is a dead orc. That's all I need to know.
Close enough. Trolls and orcs. Yeah, orcs are quite different from trolls.
Just a bit.
Just a bit.
But do orcs smell really badly?
Orcs do smell really badly.
Yeah.
In your expert opinion, as a dwarf, orcs smell terrible.
Couldn't have been an orc, could it?
Now, oh,
In Brie?
Would there be a reason for trolls being so close to Brie?
well, the trolls, as far as you're aware, tend to try and avoid larger populations. Even despite how big and powerful a troll is, they can be overwhelmed by numbers.
Oh, yes.
The lands of Eriador, though, do have their fair share of trolls and troll-like creatures.
There's one such story we may all know. Certain members of the party more than others.
Yeah, of free trolls and abandoned dwarves. But yeah, stone trolls do not like. In fact, sunlight is pretty much a death sentence for them. So a stone troll pretty much, hide anywhere to avoid sunlight.
Including a random barn.
Yeah. Poor guy.
I don't think I'll tell this man
Mm.
what I know per se. I think I'll just tell him that you've smelled me. I don't smell. My friends do.
If it wasn't a ranger, something was in the barn.
On that, we can agree.
Did any of your friends from here come back to your home with you and maybe stay in the barn when you went home? I mean, you've had quite a few nights in here, Ernest.
And you do smell quite bad.
And you were
yourself.
just sleeping at the bar.
How about we go and take a look at this barn? It's
You
bound to be more fun than this place.
I've helped you home in more than a few nights.
you may
I
have
would know.
may have a point, Sydney. You're a good
Aye.
boy.
Of course, a good boy.
We're a good boy.
Yeah, well. Until I decided to step outside the gate.
So you started hanging around with strangers.
Yeah.
The dwarfs are fine.
Mm.
They appreciate a
I'll-
good strong drink.
I will take Ernest to the bar to get him a drink of water.
He'll probably initially spit the water out
Mm.
until you keep making him drink it.
Sober up.
Trying to drown me, boy.
I'm trying to sober you up. You've actually just been sleeping in the common room of the Prancing Pony and knocked over several tankards. You can see them on the floor there when you woke up.
I couldn't have been that drunk. I was dancing.
What time do you think it is?
Lunchtime.
Look out the window. It is dark.
Yeah.
Yet.
Would you like me to take you home, Ernest?
Yes, I'll make my own way home.
Good.
He sort of slides off the bar stool half onto his feet. And as he's staggering towards the door, suddenly the door of the Prancing Pony comes flying inward.
Ooh.
No.
Oh no.
And in rushes a young Breelander. All the chatter in the common room stops for a moment before you hear the not so quiet whispers of it's Thomas Heatherton.
Oh.
The young man is as white as a sheet. And he very quickly grabs the nearest pint off the table, regardless of who it belongs to, and takes a long, hard swig of it before he sort of slams it down, and immediately starts to gibber about ghosts and monsters in the nearby graveyard. Judging from how pale he looks, how clearly shaken he is, it's clear that whatever the boy has seen, or young man, he's definitely seen something that has shaken him up.
That was my freaking tankard.
Does any of his gibbering make sense? Like, do I pick out any certain like words or anything like that that might mean something?
You can give me a riddle roll.
Pearl's just going to be like, he's whiter than a fresh washed handkerchief, he is.
Nope.
Yeah, he's kind of half talking to himself and half dazed from whatever he's seen, where like he just seems to be kind of repeating that there's ghosts, something in the graveyard, something's happened.
Someone been digging up the graveyard? I have to see this.
I'm gonna leaving Ernest his own devices now. You say he's sitting down now?
He's still standing, sort of just presumably grabbed Boren's pint, downed it, and then slammed it on the table.
At this point, after a moment, Born is like going to stand up and grab him by the collar.
Tiny wolf.
I would encourage you to remember you cannot reach his collar, probably.
Oh.
Maybe you stand on your tiptoes.
Stand up on the stool.
It's on the chair.
Yeah, I'll stand up on a stool and like drag him down to my face.
He sort of shakes his head and stares at you.
That was my tankard, you bastard. Now calm down.
I'm gonna snap put my hand on your shoulder, Borden, as well, and go. He's clearly scared. Let's give him a
Right,
moment. I'll buy you another pint.
right. So he lets go. You can sit down on this chair. He hops off the chair.
He,
I'll motion to the barkeeper for 2 pints. One for Thomas and one for Borden.
Yeah.
Thomas sits down on the chair that Boren was just sitting in. Yeah,
I come and sit back down at the table as well. At this point,
he still looks pale. You can see that he's still shaking.
yeah.
You can see that he has some dirt under his fingernails.
Thomas, what happened? You're white as a sheet.
Can you give me a enhearten roll if you can?
Yep.
That's one of the new ones.
New ones,
It used to be inspire, but they've reworded it.
Boy.
There we are.
Great success.
Great success.
Yeah. Okay. As you like sort of calmly talk to address him, and you're not grabbing him by the collar or you can tell that some of the people in the inn want to say a few questionable things to Thomas about what he did on the day of his uncle's funeral and things. Your sort of calm approach, along with the pint provided by Idro, sort of makes him stop for a moment. He looks up at you. Sydney?
Yeah, yes, Thomas. It's me. You okay?
Something's happened. Uncle Tim's grave has been. Something's happened to it.
Oh? Go on.
Can you give me a riddle or persuade roll?
They're both the same, so persuade. Go for. Nah.
I think I saw a ghost. See the paleness starting to kind of wash over him again as he comes to that brilliant, clear understanding. Anyone else can try and get information out of him with a riddle or persuade roll.
I'd like to try it as well.
It's worth
Persuasion or riddle.
Yeah, I got 20.
Do riddle. I failed.
yeah. Oh dear.
That is a 1.
Yeah. I'm not very persuasive.
1.
Did I get the highest?
Yeah, 20 with a great success. Yeah.
Oh, time for the tuck to muck it up. No,
Quick question, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this is second edition of the One Ring. Are we still doing the thing where we mark down successes?
No.
No, cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
they streamlined that.
Cool. Fine. Thank you.
So yeah, you're all good. They do have a thing now with special successes, and this point's probably a good point to explain what you can do with those. So, in your little dice roller thing that you can see on both Mash and Roddy's rolls, it says great, and it has a 1 in the brackets, which means that they have rolled that many 6s, which are... There would be 10 war runes on the actual dice. They're exceptional or greater degrees of success. In first edition, that mechanic was kind of vague for most things outside of combat. In second edition, they've structured it a little bit more. So for each one of those little icons you have, you can spend them to do things. So you can spend them to do things like... You could cancel the failure of another player character, making the roll a success. You can score additional successes if it's a roll that you need more than 1 success to succeed in, such as a social interaction like this one. You can spend it to gain insight, so that is additional information about a situation that you're rolling, or whatever the roll is for. Doesn't necessarily have to be related to the task at hand. For a stealth roll, for example, or stealth is important, you can spend 1 success to achieve your goal noiselessly, or without otherwise attracting attention. You can spend 1 to speed up the amount of time that you would otherwise be spending on an extended roll. Or if you're trying to make a roll that affects a specific number of targets or subjects, you can spend the extra successes to affect additional people. But in this situation, spending it for the additional successes is probably the best way to go to get all the information out of Thomas as you possibly can.
Cool.
But, works like that in combat as well, and I'll explain that once we actually get to combat.
So is that for both me and Mash, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So in total, you've got 4 successes on handling.
Well done.
Handling him.
Yeah.
Thomas sort of looks at all of you are trying to talk to him, but he sort of looks at the Hobbit. I think I saw a ghost in the graveyard. I looked right at him. He's grey skin, maybe 9-10 feet tall, horrid red eyes, and he smelled like rotten meat.
Wow.
Is this of any interest?
2 plus 2.
Pearl's just gonna be like, when my great auntie Fanny Tuck went crazy, she said she was seeing ghosts, but they were never no 8 feet ghosts. She said they were just the same as us. They were just like see-through and stuff. So like, where are these 9-foot ghosts coming from? Because they're not like Bree folk. Because like she said, they all looked like my great granddaddy daddy Tuck. And so she could see him, and she saw my great auntie Edna, but like she didn't see no like 6-foot tall ghost. Do you know what I'm saying?
Dear God.
And that is what we in this group refer to as a pearl of wisdom.
Oh, that's great.
That's great.
I really appreciate that one.
All I'm saying, is when she saw ghosties, they were of us, and like he was in a human graveyard. So why is he seeing non-human ghosties?
Well, I've got to admit you've had a point.
I always have a point. called
Right.
a sword.
Swig.
It's she's got a point. I've heard stories about ghosts and whites in the barrows. None of them have ever. If it wasn't a ghost, what did they say that was?
Can we like make lore checks? Or...
I want to see. I was going to
Yeah.
ask that. Yeah.
You've already concluded that someone in Breeze probably had a visit from a troll, so.
Yeah.
Character doesn't know that.
Well, some of us have.
You could give me a lore, Borin. You could give me a lore check if you want.
That's a no.
No.
Nah, got nothing.
But yeah, Idril, you've already came to the conclusion that there's maybe been a troll around Bree.
I do have folklore as like a feature thing. I don't know if that
Feature.
helps at all.
So the way features worked in second edition is when you spend hope on a roll, it would normally give you one extra d6 towards your dice roll. But if you have a special feature that applies to the situation when you spend hope, you get 2 d6 instead
There
of
we
just
go.
1.
Okay.
You guys can also help each other out in rolls, where you need to explain what skill that you would be using to help your companion. As the lore master, GM, whatever, I have to agree, yep, cool, that fits. And then your companion can get an extra 1d6 as well from that. But dice rolls tend to cap at 6d6. But yeah, that's how hope works, that's how your special attributes work, and that's how helping each other works in second edition.
I hope we don't run out of hope.
Been there, done that. Is all I'm gonna say.
So yeah, Idril, you could maybe safely assume troll from the description that Thomas has given, as well as what old Ernest was saying earlier.
I have no idea what's walking around here, but maybe we should look into it.
I've got an idea for it. And I'm going to look into Thomas and go, don't worry, it's not.
I'm sorry, you're cutting out there.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on with my mic? I looked in Thomas, I'm going to say, and don't worry, it's not a ghost. It's something far more corporeal.
He looks at you when you say the word corporeal, like
Physical.
Maybe. Oh. Like flesh.
It means you can stab it.
Got it. That's all I need to know.
You see, you saw it last at the graveyard.
in the graveyard. This is very. He sort of looks a little bit ashamed.
And what were you doing out in the graveyard, if I may ask, as I push a pint over his way?
Give me a
But still holding on to it.
persuade roll here.
Yeah, this is not going to go well. Yeah. I have nothing in persuade.
Nothing in persuade. Okay. He kind of looks at the pint. I don't think I deserve that.
Alright, all for me.
Boring keeps drinking.
Nothing to do with him.
Got nothing to say.
He's still like talking and like rambling
He's-
and being crazy, or is he calmed down?
Now that Idro has told him it's not a ghost, you can see the colour slowly starting to come back into his face. Not that, he's particularly colourful in complexion prior to, being scared out of his wits. Being like a spotty early 20-something-year-old from Bray. But he looks a little bit calmer now. So, Sydney, I suppose, he starts to become aware that all of the Bree folk in the inn are all staring at him and the group of you. I take it they've all been talking about what happened.
We've both lived here long enough for you to know that without me answering.
Kind of like Pearl just kind of like has no slide. She just like spits her drink when she's like mid-sip.
I don't know.
I just sort of glance kind of around my shoulders disapprovingly at the rest of the room.
Everyone goes away.
Well,
Borin doesn't care. He just keeps drinking.
They was talking about you growing legs and extra arms by the time it got back to Hobbiton. I'm telling you, it was awesome.
Well, what were they saying about me? Miss.
Oh, I'm Pearl. Pearl Tuck, you may call me. I've heard all sorts of fun stuff, but apparently you've been like offing people and like stealing all their monies. Is it true?
I've been what?
Offing people. They make you sound like an offy or nasty character. I'm telling you, you should hear the stuff they've been saying. And we ain't even been listening. We've been mostly annoying Boring all night.
Yeah, doing a good job at that.
Can you give me a riddle roll, please, Mash?
Who? Me?
Mash.
Oh.
There you go. Is that roll?
Yep.
Great ones.
Yep.
Pretty good.
It's another great success. So that's
Hell yeah.
I ain't oft. Nobody mistook. I just wanted to know where Uncle Tim had his money. That's why I was at the graveyard.
And you thought he were buried with his money, so somehow you thought he managed to bury himself after he died in a grave with his own gold. Not very smart, are you?
He made plans with the Undertaker before he died.
Aye. So you trust the Undertaker to bury him with gold?
Now that you put it like that,
See, where's his will? Hobbits need estates and wills for this exact reason.
he I think he left a little coin to my dad, and I was sure that he had more than that. He was a well-known treasure hunter, me Uncle Tim.
Aye, we've all heard the stories.
Yeah.
You believe me that I seen something at the graveyard, though, right?
Yeah, no, we'll look into it. Don't you worry, we will. I kind of glance across at Idro with like a, you know what this is, right?
I'm gonna nod.
I just sort of look at you and you just nod, and I'm like, nah.
I need some fresh air, anyways.
I think we should go now. It's going to be more interesting than sitting around here
Yeah.
listening to gossip.
And,
I agree.
Boring quickly drinks up the rest of his drink
He
before up to leave.
he takes a few moments to sort of look the six of you over. What if I told you Uncle Tim had a map of where he hid his treasure? Maybe we could split it.
Map?
Pretty sure when I was a young lad, I seen Uncle Tim looking over some maps anytime that anyone asked him for a loan of money. Uncle Tim would never just give you it. He'd always make a big deal about how it was dangerous for him to give you that money.
And you have the map.
I was kind of hoping that Uncle Tim might have been buried with it. I couldn't find it anywhere in the house. My dad said that I was foolish for looking for it.
Well, there's one rumour put to rest. I hope.
People quickly stare down at their pints.
Yeah. God, fools a lot of them.
Pearl's just like rubbing her hands, really excited at the prospect of following a treasure map.
Well, you know what they say about me. I have journeyed outside the walls and done a bit of adventuring with this lot here. And I just like plainly say this out loud, and immediately you just hear all through the bar.
Forts with dwarfs and hobbits and men from far off lands and even elves and rangers.
Aye, and he's proud of it.
Hobbits can hold more smoke weed than the rest of you, so you know we've got one up.
Well, I think it's time we go find out a bit more about this, and I'll very quickly down my drink and get ready to go.
Is that a yes that you'll
The maybe.
The maybe.
Definitely a maybe from me. I'm not.
It's
really
an interested, but let's go check things out first.
Yes.
He gets up, finishes with whatever's left in the pint mug from the drink that Idril got him. Clearly wanting that extra little kick of courage before going back to the graveyard.
So like Pearl like follows like right behind Boren. She's basically like a shadow. Like she matches his pace as best she can, and like because as they're walking.
In the past, Boring would like look back at her, asking like, "What are you doing?" But at this point, he's just used to it.
She's like his little shadow.
Yeah.
Sydney will choose to be the last one to leave the bar, and before he closes the door behind him, shoots a disapproving look across the room.
Shame on all of you.
Bridget would have just gotten straight up and walked out as soon as anybody said yes, let's go. She's like out of there waiting outside for everyone to come out.
Yeah.
As obviously, I would have suggested ask whether Thomas wanted to come back, whether it's safe for him, and whether or not he should just basically leave it to us.
I mean, we don't need an extra person to protect, so.
Yeah, I think you should stay here.
Yeah.
I see how it is.
At the very least, we can walk him home first.
I mean, he can come.
About it. We're trying to protect you.
Yeah.
He can come if he wants. You want to come, you can come, dude. But like, it's up to you.
Could be dangerous.
I'm only little.
Just, if you don't want me there, then just remember that treasure belongs to my family, and I should get my share of it.
What
Oh.
treasure? We're going looking for trolls. You said there was ghosts and monsters. We're gonna deal with that first, okay?
No, I really don't care about your treasure.
Well, that's one share struck off. Okay.
But
Yeah.
of course, if we do find your treasure, it will be safe with us.
Mhm.
Our priority is the troll.
So we're
Treasure is
thinking it might be a
secondary.
troll then.
I told anybody that's a troll.
Yeah, that's not been publicly spoken about yet. The only
Yeah.
one that has an idea is Idril.
Yeah.
Deal with
So-
whatever's in there first.
Mhm.
If there happens to be treasure, so be it.
Suppose I should head home if my old man will let me back in.
Sydney, I assume you know where they live.
Yeah. Sydney will actually walk him home. Just out of a kind of, because as I said, like Sydney is like a gatekeeper guardman type thing in the town, so it's the kind of thing he occasionally does. Just kind of walk him home and explain to his dad, Nicholas, that he's had a bit of a fright this evening, and it's probably best that he gets an early bed.
Nick Heatherton looks a little bit upset and frustrated. He's wearing a black cloak, which in Bree is a sign that he's in mourning.
Yeah.
He takes one look at Thomas. Boy, haven't you brought enough shame to this house with it having this good lad here bring you home like this?
Oof.
Tom, you see him sort of grip his fists his hands in a tight fists. It's not your house, Dad. Uncle Tim paid for it and you well know it. You might be too scared to claim what Uncle Tim's hidden, but I'm not. You see the old man sort of
God.
rub his mustache in frustration. You don't know what you're talking about, boy. It ain't no concern of yours about your old Uncle Tim's treasure. And I don't know what nonsense you've been saying around the prancing pony either. It's best that you leave it well alone. Sydney, I'm sorry about the boy putting you out your way.
No, he's absolutely fine. We're heading over to check on the graveyard as it was anyway. After he said he saw something there.
If I
Can't be too careful these days. Rumours of orcs on the road and all that kind of thing.
We're from the other side of the city, like, there's someone say orcs.
the boy ain't thinking right, Sydney.
Mhm.
I can maybe if I give you some coin for him wasting your time and you and whatever.
No. He's not wasting my time at all, Nick. He's not wasting my time at all. As he said he saw something. If he's not seen an orc, first he said ghost, right? If he's not seen a ghost, could be an orc, could be someone trying to come into town to break and enter anywhere. We don't know. It could be some ne'er-do-wells. So we're gonna go. We're gonna deal with it. He has told me some information. So there's someone or something in the graveyard that shouldn't be in Bree. That much I know. So we're gonna deal with it. Okay?
Give me an insight roll.
Insight roll. My character does not have insight, good god.
Success.
Success!
Nice. Okay. You can tell that Nick is maybe a little bit ashamed, possibly even bordering on scared of his late brother's legacy.
Yeah.
Tim travelled with strange and dangerous folk. He tried to put that part of his life behind him, but I wouldn't want to put you or anyone else at risk over the boy's ramblings about some map that no one's ever seen.
Like I said, we're heading to check out the graveyard just now. If something turns up, something turns up. Regardless, to your boy to bed at very least.
So grabs Tom by the ear and yanks him in through the door. To the to the graveyard.
To the graveyard.
Now the graveyard lies a little bit outside of Bray, to the south of the town, to be exact.
Barrow Downs?
Not quite as far as Barrow Downs, but as if you were heading in that direction.
Okay.
Now, if you could all give me search rolls, is it still called search and
Scan?
scan in second edition? Yep.
Yeah. Sure, I'll give you a scan. Boom.
Where'd my character
Ooh.
gone?
Oh.
Extraordinary success.
Oh.
Oh no.
And I rolled an extraordinary. Oh god. Sydney, no.
I know.
I introduced this.
No,
Fail.
Sydney, no.
Oh.
It just means that I've completely don't notice whatever it is I'm looking for. Like
Yeah.
in this case.
You fall into an open grave.
Don't give him ideas.
Oh,
Um,
god.
Okay, an extraordinary success.
Those.
Yeah, we got 2. Does that cancel out the extraordinary fail?
Yeah, you could cancel out some of these
You can do that.
failures.
I got a feat success as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Oh yeah, that's an actual Gandalf rune. Nice.
Yeah.
So we've
Yeah.
got the full spread now.
Feat success. There is a thing in One Ring for second edition for sometimes you could succeed on a roll even if you've rolled an Eye of Sauron, and it's called a success with woe. So you're successful, something bad is still going to happen even though. But we've not had that yet, so it's all good. Search rolls. Which is their scan rolls. We do need some great or extraordinary successes for this. Okay, so you reach the graveyard, which has a low lingering fog lying over it, even at this time of the night. But for Ear and Borin, at least, you're able to find some traces near the graveyard, the grave of Timaeus. The grass here has been trampled by something big and heavy. The grave itself has been disturbed, and it hasn't been with a shovel either. You can just about make out the huge sort of finger gouges in the soft dirt that make up the grave, as if, again, something big has just torn up the earth here.
Yeah.
The smell,
Explained.
there's a smell of decay, of rotting flesh from the grave itself, as clearly whatever has dug it up has also torn open the coffin. And you can see the remains of poor Uncle Tim, and you can see that he is missing a leg.
Oh god.
Oh.
Something big.
Yeah,
Came
I
in.
would have explained on the walk here that it was a troll. That's my hunch.
Take a look at these. Are you seeing this as well, or you're
Um,
Sorry, what was that? Something was cutting out there.
You
okay?
see it too.
So basically, Boren was asking you if you could also see these big prints.
Pretty big.
It's a thing of if you point out to the rest of us, go, oh yes.
Definitely trolls then.
Oh, something with big fat fingers.
It's
Yeah, something fat fingered that grave.
And stinks by the smells of it.
Goodness.
smells like trolls.
Why are trolls going grave digging in Brie though?
That's what I want to know.
Indeed,
I
I
assume
am-
that's not common at all.
No.
that
No.
that would
like dead
rec-
people?
would require some lore rolls.
Yeah.
Let's give it a shot.
I'll help.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't have any points in lore, but I do have the folklore distinctive feature.
Yeah.
So if you were to spend hope on the roll, you would get 2 extra d6.
Where is our hope anyway again?
It's in the heart
Oh, there it
section.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Current
a Gandalf.
Yay! I got a 12. I got a feat.
Yes.
So the last time I heard about trolls,
Oh boy.
What's your aunt
Bilbo-
say about trolls?
No, it was Bilbo himself. He was telling the entire of Hobbiton about how he came across 3 trolls. I don't know where I'm going with this because I don't know what we're actually rolling for. And you're gonna have to take over.
You probably heard some horror stories about how some trolls have a taste for ripe meat.
Wow.
Okay, so Pearl just like goes off on this big ass long ass tangent about how she heard this story from Bilbo in the pub one night about how the trolls eat rancid meat.
How do they even know that there was someone buried here?
It's a
The
graveyard.
Probably because Thomas was digging it up already.
Mm. The smell got out.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm gonna have to come up with some Turkish aunts and uncles' names if we're gonna quick run out.
All 20 of them.
Van Took.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Sydney. I know, Sydney, that you hate
Mm.
rumors and all these sort of things, but
Yeah.
were there any kind of strange or odd rumors relating to Tim's treasure and what it might be? Anything that would explain kind of this and kind of
Mm.
why kind of like Thomas's father was so kind of adamant that
Mm.
it should all be
Well-
ignored.
Brie, as you all know, is a really insular place. People don't like to pay attention to stuff outside its walls generally. Nicholas, or Nick, as we call him around town, I got the impression there that he kind of, like, he's a little ashamed of his brother's legacy or scared of what it could mean. So basically, the way he's acting is he doesn't want his son kind of following in his uncle's footsteps, because they were really close. That was a whole big thing of, like, kind of whenever Tim was home, Thomas would kind of follow him about and ask him for stories and stuff like that. But as for, I mean, there's been the whole thing of that before he died, Tim paid a lot of money to the Undertaker, so that's been a thing of, he knew, that's where the rumors have come from, that he knew he was going to die. The other thing is, the other one that has been is that he was buried with his treasure, which we can quite obviously see. Unless that treasure's been taken, he wasn't. And then there's the other one that we just heard from Thomas himself, that he was buried with said map, the treasure. Now, someone or something has opened up this grave and opened up the coffin within, and his leg is missing. We have discussed the possibility of trolls, because trolls have been known to eat dead things. But there's also the possibility that if he were buried with the map, they now have the map.
Yeah, that was.
Do you think he tattooed it on him?
Either
on his
that,
leg?
I don't think he tattooed it. No, that's kind of.
In his leg, did he have a fake leg?
You have way too much of an imagination, Pearl.
I'm sure if he had a fake,
Our surname is
fake
Took.
leg, they wouldn't have eaten it.
Yeah.
Just taking it with them though. Maybe he had a map inside it. Or a shoe. Did he hide it in his shoe?
Well, we have to.
At the moment, there are many unanswered questions.
Yes, like where did it go?
I'm sure
Where
Pearl
did
will
it
attempt to
come
answer
from?
them
Where did
all
it
on the
go?
way there, but in the meantime,
Sorry.
From what you can find around the graveyard, there is enough in the ways of tracks and trails leading off from here that you could potentially track the troll to wherever it's went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be explore?
I believe it's hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hunting on here. Oh yes.
I'm good at hunting.
I might be a little bit morbid and just have a quick search of the coffin, just to make sure that
there's nothing in there.
nothing in there, yeah, and there's nothing left or
disturbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won't find anything in the coffin. Just a decomposing corpse missing his leg.
Yeah.
Bit of liquid.
Yeah.
Pearl's nose is like wrinkled to her forehead the entire time you're doing it. She's like watching like
corpse water.
So he's making a mental note to like inform the graveyard keeper about this.
Yeah.
Although he's far more concerned about the possibility of trolls nearby at the moment.
We should probably sleep and head out tomorrow. Troll won't be able to run once it gets light anyhow.
I mean, how late is it?
It's dark.
Dark.
Would have had to have been dark when Thomas came in the house. Yeah.
Whose shed was he hiding in? I mean, do we think maybe it might return
Ernest.
there in the morning?
We could go to Ernest's shed and wait.
Shall we go and check out Ernest's barn?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd suggest not going in the dark and wait till sunlight, because like then it wouldn't exactly have like far to go. I don't know if Pearl would suggest that, but like
I think you'd be quite interested in just figuring out where this thing is.
yeah.
Stone or not.
Yeah.
logical brain is like, let's probably wait until sunlight to go attack the monster that is weak to sun.
Yeah.
No, I think that
Oh,
Or
not
not.
weak the sun. Straight up, the sun will kill it.
kill it. Yeah.
So it'll be harder to find come daylight.
Mhm.
Do we not think it's going to go to the shed though?
There's
Which
the potential for
direction
that.
tracks go?
Yeah, because the thing is, if we wait till sunlight, then it's gonna go and hide somewhere. It
Yeah.
could
Okay.
possibly
Mm.
have already gone left Bree at this point. If we wait till morning, it can get further and then hide from us permanently. Whereas at night time, it's going to be traveling.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
I s-
fair.
I say we
Alright.
stalk it, hunt it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
Alright, fine.
and then wait.
Wait.
And s-
Wait for
I'm
daylight.
very much on board with that and getting this taken care of as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So
Let's just do this then.
sounds to
Let's
me
track this.
like you're about
Let's
to
go.
head off on a proper journey.
Mhm.
Now the One Ring uses
Travel.
roles for the company when you're traveling.
Yep.
One person has to be the company's guide. Another person can act as a hunter, lookout, or scout. You can double up on any of the roles apart from guide.
I would probably say that I'm best suited for the travel skill. Basically a guide.
Yeah.
Okay, so guide uses
I'm good
travel.
for-
Probably hunter for me.
I'm best either using hunter or awareness. So
Oh, which?
So,
I think travel's probably the better one for me out of the options.
Which one? Sorry.
Travel.
guide uses travel, scout uses explore, lookout uses awareness, and hunters use hunting.
I'll probably be a good lookout.
You
Just
have
use what? Sorry.
Out of all those, my best one is explore.
Explore. Okay. Scout uses
yeah.
explore, lookout uses awareness, and hunter uses hunting. And the guide
Yeah,
uses travel.
My best is hunting. So far.
I have a question, Andy.
Yep.
I have a gear that is a collection of maps for travel. What does that do again?
That is like your useful items, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a situational thing?
Let me double check.
It's a situational thing. I think where you say to Andy, "I've got this thing. Will it help in this situation?" If Andy says yes, you get a bonus of some kind.
Something like that, I
Mhm.
think.
Are we
Yeah.
are we
Starting gear.
scheduling? Are we doing a break in these sessions, or are we just running through?
We could take a 5-minute break if you want.
Yeah, if not, I'm gonna get one trounced by a cat, and two, I really need the bathroom.
Has everyone decided what role that they're going to take in the company?
I'll do scout, I guess, because I'm
I'll
do-
awareness.
I'll do a scout as well
Lookout.
with
Yeah.
awareness.
Lookout, sorry.
Lookout's awareness, yep. Scout is explore, and
Yep.
hunter is
Scout for me.
I'll do hunter.
Can two people be guide?
only one
No.
person can be the guide.
Alright, are you fine with letting me be guide, Sophie?
Yeah, you can. I'll like awareness or explore is the only other two options I've got.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
great in them, but they're the only ones I've got.
My awareness sucks. My explore is kind of decent.
Yeah, travel by far has got 3 and ticked, so that's the only
Yeah.
one that's good for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, if your explore's decent, that's an extra scout, I suppose. But yeah, so if you've travel's the only decent skill out of the 4, you might be best being the
Like-
guide for now.
Like explore and awareness are both just 2. That's all.
Okay.
So they're not bad.
not bad.
but-
Okay, so yeah, you could be a lookout or a scout.
yeah. I'll do a scout.
Useful items will give you 1 extra D6 in any roll made outside of combat with their associated skill, if it makes sense.
Yep.
So yeah, if you've got a set of maps, David, Then, yeah.
Excellent. I'll like scout out on my maps where I think we're heading, and yeah. Excellent navigator.
So, is there only one hunter in the company?
I have 0 hunting.
I think so.
0.
Okay.
I could go hunting, but
I just have
Definitely
one.
not.
I have 1 in hunting.
I
They're
have
both-
3 hunting and it's ticked.
I just realized that I have a horse.
Cool. Steve has 2 hunting, but not that.
yeah.
I
Okay.
just realized that we have mounts.
Then we'll deal with these rolls in a second. We'll take a quick 5-minute break then.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, if you don't mind
Yeah, apparently
waiting.
my dog wants to go out. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
No worries.
So everyone in chat, if you don't mind waiting 5 minutes, and we'll be right back with the second half of our first session of the One Ring. And I'll leave you with the nice "Be Right Back" screen with the music that was custom made, composed for the game. Cool. Back in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you all for waiting. We're going to be back for the second half of this session. For another hour at most, if I can keep my timing accurately. Thank you all for waiting. So you guys are going to be on hot pursuit of a troll, heading towards South Downs. Bridget?
You went a bit crackly.
I went a bit crackly.
Wait, I think it's okay again.
Okay.
It sounded like cell phone interference, like that you used to get back in the day.
Possibly. I think because my phone is on the computer desk now. I'll put it somewhere further away. Okay. Then, Bridget of Dale, you are going to be the company's hunter. So, a lot of this is going to weigh on you.
Fantastic.
Before we can even get started with any travel rolls and stuff from the party's guide, I'm going to need you to give me a hunting roll to see if you can get a clear sense of where the tracks are going. Okay, fantastic. Nice.
Let's start.
Then yeah, you're able to find tracks leading off from Uncle Tim's grave. They are said heading south towards the South Downs. From here we can start doing travel rolls. This is boring. This is where you're going to come in. I'm going to need a travel roll from you. I'm just going to quickly double check the travel mechanics for second edition because they have changed
Yeah.
a little bit. Let's see.
Okay.
So before I roll, I'm just gonna say that Boren hears about the tracks from
Bridget.
Bridget.
From Bridget, yeah. So yeah, the role of the guide is you're in charge of all decisions concerning the route, rest, and supplies. Hunter, you find food, you track things. Lookout, you keep your eye open for any signs of danger. And scouts, you look for places to set up camps, new trails, and potential leads. So the guide for the company must make a marching test. So you're the one that rolls travel. This is different from first edition where everyone made their own independent travel roll.
Oh, when you start up being the character that's got one in travel.
So
That was me.
second edition, this is the job of the guide.
Kelly says to get out the coconuts.
Get out the coconuts.
So yeah, Boren is looking at his maps, and after a moment, he points in a direction. I'm going to roll.
Is that what he says?
I'm going
down the hill.
just gonna roll randomly on this map and see where we go.
Yeah, exactly. No, he just kind of points and it says it's this way. May I roll a bonus dice?
Yes, for your special equipment. Yep.
Yep. Travel maps. There we go.
One
Great
great success. That is
Great
fantastic.
success with an extra success.
So the way this works, and this will be clear to the lovely people watching on Twitch, is I have a different version of the map which I have just activated. This journey is a little bit different from normal. Normally you would have an end destination in mind. But the way hazards and stuff work in second edition is very different from first. In first edition, they would occur when people rolled an Eye of Sauron on any of the travel rolls they make. In second edition, hazards and offence will happen regardless.
Yeah. You mentioned it before, yeah.
So typically, on a failed roll, an event will occur 2 hexes on the lore master map from where the journey begins. if you succeed on a roll, then it will occur 3 hexes away, plus 1 additional hex away for every extra d6 that you roll. 6 that you roll. So if you guys travel as far as 4 hexes away from Bree, a random encounter will happen. I don't think the journey in this adventure is actually long enough for that to occur. But what could have happened is it could have been a fail, and then yeah, most definitely you would have been having a random hazard. Yep. So being the party's guide, just in fact, because you don't fully know where you're going, for the moment I will kind of draw in the line for where you guys are headed. I'm going to do it in black. So you're coming from Bree, and you're heading south towards the South Downs. Now your first day / night of travelling, or like night going into day that you're travelling, you're going through lands that back when this would have been all part of the Kingdom of Arnor or Cardolan. Eventually, it would have been like vineyards and other farmland that would have been here. And while the amount of farms and people living in these lands has long since dwindled over the years, the land here is still fairly easygoing, at least for the first day of your journey. To the point where you'll probably occasionally find little country roads that are maybe a bit overgrown and stuff that don't really slow down your travels all that much. Can I get another hunting roll from you, Bridget, please?
Sure. No!
Can I use my great success
no.
to make that into a success?
What was that, David?
How do great successes work again?
The great success determines when where random events are going to happen. So
Okay. So I cannot make that into a success.
You cannot make that into a success.
The idea behind that is you basically like planned around something you know is there.
Yeah,
You either know there's been bandit activity or orc activity, or there's
you know that there's
a flooding in that area, or there's like
dangerous barrows or something like that might and you've kind of you
planned around that.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Okay. So hunting the troll, that was a failure.
It was.
It was a failure. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I
fail at the thing I'm best at.
It's okay. You've got at least one further attempt to do this. So this is your first day on the road. As I said, you're going through what would have been formerly farmland, vineyards, overgrown roads. It's easy going. At points, Bridget, you seem to lose track of where the troll is going. But you reckon that being such an empty land around here, the chances are it's probably still going to be heading south. South of Bree, there are hills, there are barrows. Even if you're maybe not quite as skilled or as knowledgeable about the habits of trolls as maybe Idril or one of the two dwarfs, as a hunter, you know that most animals, big or small, like places that they can be secure in, and you reckon hills and old tombs for something big like a troll that needs to sleep during the day. So you're not going to lose track of where you're going. you're still able to track it well enough to follow it south, but not enough to catch up with it.
Okay.
Okay. Can I get a explore roll from the scouts of the company?
Yes.
That be me as well.
Yep,
Or was I?
both scouts.
Woo!
Hey, there we go.
You're
You're
Yeah.
okay. You're as Bridget is tracking. Boren is constantly checking maps for like potential dangers or things that might slow you down along the way. Both yourself and Sydney are looking for suitable places to set up a camp for the night as the day draws towards its end. You find a very small hill. I think if you lived in Scotland, you probably wouldn't even consider it a hill. With the ruins of an old farm on it that provides some shelter from the spring rains and winds that come in. And it's decent enough that it's on this slight hill. It has a bit of an overlook. Would be the most defensible place that you could probably find in the relatively flat lands that used to form the farms and vineyards here. Judging from the stonework Idro, the farm would have once upon a time been of the sort of architecture of the kingdom of Arnor. Your ancestors would have lived here at one point. Okay, so you have a camp. You still vaguely know where you're going, and as far as you're all aware, Boren has picked a relatively safe route through the lands for you. Our lookouts, while you're setting up camp and you're camping for the evening, can I get awareness rolls from you, please?
Yep. Of course you can.
All of us.
Just the lookouts.
Mhm.
So that's Pero and Idro.
Pearl probably got distracted by Boren.
She was, to keep in with the Monty Python theme, she was singing Brave, 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 Sir Boren.
Idro,
Boren was getting pissed off again.
as you're doing what Rangers of the North do, and you're staying up late, and you're looking all broody and probably handsome or whatever Rangers do. Just down the hill, not that far from where you've chosen to camp, under the moonlight that's providing most of the light for you over the fields here, you can spot a figure who seems to be following your company.
Oh.
They're not troll-sized, they are most definitely human-sized, but there is a figure following you.
Just the one?
Just the one.
Way too far away to make out as well. How far away is he?
Probably. What kind of bow have you got on you so I can measure it in shooting distance?
Just a normal bow.
Regular bow, yeah. Then yeah, he's probably about twice your bow distance away.
Alright.
You reckon if you stole Bridget's longbow, you could maybe make the shot, but with your bow.
I will point this out to people and let them know that we're being kind of either tracked or tracked and followed.
Say what now?
You don't think it's Thomas?
That was my first inclination.
Uh,
He did.
boy.
He did once
did.
come.
He did. Yeah. If it is him, I'm not too keen on leaving him by himself. In the wilderness overnight. Does anybody want to come with me and see if it is him? And if it's not him, well,
I'll join you.
at least we'll have backup.
I'll go because Warren's going.
Pearl, can you please stay at camp?
But maybe I can. He was friends with me. I can help.
Maybe it's best if we all go. Just in case it's not him.
Do we
Born
have
like opens
ponies
his
with
mouth.
us? Did we go on foot or did we go on ponies?
Well, part of the traveling rules is we have
We have
Yeah.
of
horses,
some
yeah.
kind.
I have a pony named Westwind.
We have.
So yeah, do we need to worry about them? Maybe.
I'd say half of us stay and half of us go at the moment.
Yeah,
As
I
far as we
agree with
know,
that.
it's an
Well,
individual humanoid.
I'll stay because I have a great bow. So
Yeah.
if a
Pick 'em
fight
off from a
breaks out, I can
distance.
still contribute. from here.
Fine. Come along, but don't stray.
So you ready your bow, you're overlooking the situation. Which of you exactly are going down? Idro,
think
Borin,
Yep.
Peril?
I won't. I'll stay.
Pearl is coming too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boring
I will
just,
remain behind in that case.
So half
Yeah.
half the company. Okay, that's fine.
Mm.
Cool.
Half and half.
3 to 3.
You start to make your way down the hill. Idro, you've not lost sight of this figure, even while you've been explaining to your companions. And it's clear that he notices the three of you as you come down the hill, and he tries to hide himself behind some of the overgrown bushes and trees that make up some of the land here, but not fast enough for you to before you close the gap. And as you do, you can very clearly see that it is Thomas.
Of course.
God damn it, Thomas.
Thomas, we can see you.
Thomas!
He's making more noise than Togo Goodbody at New Year's when he's had a couple.
Damn it, Thomas. Was it too much to ask for you to stay at home?
Yep.
Apparently it was.
My I know there's a map. I know Uncle Tim had more treasure than what my old man says.
I don't think Pearl should be the voice of reason
No.
here.
So
May I speak?
you're risking your life for a map.
Thomas, you've got gold on your head and it's going to get you seriously hurt or worse.
I heard about that once. Don't they call it dragon sickness?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it because Uncle Tim didn't. He was generous with the money to a point, I suppose. I just want to. I want to be remembered like Uncle Tim.
So you want to go on an adventure?
I do.
Well, that's certainly a better reason than wanting to just have the map and get the gold.
I figured if, Uncle Tim could go to wherever he'd had his treasure and bring it back when people needed it. It couldn't have been that dangerous, but I seen whatever that thing did to Uncle Tim's body in the grave. It took his leg.
we saw.
And it could take yours if we're not careful.
Dum dum dum.
Thomas, you're the brave or extremely stupid,
I've
or a bit of both.
been called worse, I suppose.
Come with us,
Like,
Thomas.
Well, yeah, you're here
That's
now.
just what this passing.
This is no place to be standing alone.
You can see that he's like gripping kind of crude club or cudgel in his hand. It seems to be the only weapon that he has on him.
He's still crouching behind like a bush.
No,
hide.
once you called him out, he would have stood
Okay.
up and kind of dusted himself off.
Yeah.
If not, I was going to grab him by the scruff of his kind of neck and just kind of pull him out.
Pull him out. Yeah. He'll come up with his up the hill, up to your campfire and amongst the farmhouse ruins. Oof, it was starting to get cold out there in the open field.
Yeah, I'll tell him he has to be more careful. That his life isn't worth just throwing away. He has to think these things through. And looking at his weapon, I'll be like, "And is that all you brought? No supplies, no provisions, just what's on your back, and that stick."
Well, I don't.
You didn't think it through, did you?
I didn't.
Well, let this be a lesson. You're lucky you're lucky I saw you when I did. As you are, you might have caught the death of cold, or God knows what might have got you this night.
You're
by
all
yourself.
You're all adventurers like Uncle Tim was, right? What should I take the next time?
Warmer clothes, some food,
Water.
and, well, a club is good, but if you have something more pointy, like a dagger, that's also a good start.
He reaches to his belt and pulls out a small, like, carving knife or something like that. Small, like, survival knife, essentially. Like, this?
Now you see, that's a good start. You live and you die by your knife out in the wild.
Pearl just like chuckles as like she's aiming towards camp and goes, "You ninnies, the thing you need is companions."
And that too.
That helps.
Friendship!
Friendship and magic.
When
The
does
power
become
of
an anime?
friendship. The power of friendship, indeed.
So yeah, she's just kind of laughing at them for literally listing everything else first.
Yeah.
Oh, the love. I can't even do it right. Something like that.
Fellowship.
Yeah. You guys tell him what he might need to bring next time. You can see that he's taking a mental note while he gets himself warmed up by the fire.
Yeah. Well, one more along for the ride isn't going to hurt.
Well, now we've
Indeed.
got someone to look after the horses.
Indeed.
It's our minion.
I don't think I've got a horse.
No, you're too poor for
Three
horse.
I'm
ponies.
too poor for a horse.
As a company, we have 4 ponies and horses,
Yeah.
whatever combination of that, and that's based on the size of the company, essentially.
Yeah, you've got
Ranger's legs are long enough to not need a horse.
Pat- ponies and pack horses, essentially.
Yeah, they're for pack and stuff more than anything, but yeah.
I can't
Later
remember.
on, we can get our own mounts of, and certain cultures can
Okay.
get better ones.
Yeah.
I think I've got a mount. It's got a name.
I've got a mountain. I imagine Pearl probably like rides Runs
These
on the
ones are
sub
meant to be just kind of generic.
Yeah, they're like
pack horses and pack ponies. But
Bill the pony and
Yeah.
the
I can
Lord
get a
of the
proper
Rings.
pony.
Yeah, you can get a proper Bill the pony.
I can get a proper brie pony that's like super loyal and will wait outside dungeons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And find his own way home.
Yeah, your ponies are scrub ponies compared to potential brie ponies.
Yep.
And potential brie ponies are scrubs compared to Rohirrim horses.
Yes. This is entirely true.
But yeah, you're able to sort of settle back into your camp. Clearly, Thomas has been kind of pushing himself pretty hard to keep up with you guys across country and like falls asleep fairly quickly. As for the lookouts for the rest of the evening, you probably take turns keeping your eye out on the road to and from the direction you came in. I'm going to take one more round of awareness rolls from the two of you.
From me.
Both lookouts.
Lookouts.
I'm specifically looking for. Yeah.
What the?
Not
was
enough.
that?
Not enough. Even with the success, it wasn't enough to notice what I wanted you to.
Oh.
So the night goes by uneventfully.
I probably would have put like a wee cloak or something over Thomas as he was kind of sleeping.
Yeah, ranger cloak over them.
Mm.
The one that probably smells according to old Ernest. But yeah, you wake up in the morning. There's slightly more mist that seems to be coming up from the south, from the larger, more formidable looking hills of the South Downs. And yeah, can I get another hunting roll, please, Richard?
You can. Let's see. Yes.
There we go.
Nice.
That's what
There
we
we
want.
Great success.
Cool.
Ooh.
You are able to find the trail again easily enough in the morning. Once you've you guys set off in the middle of night from Bree, you didn't really take any time to sleep the night before. Maybe that's part of the reason that you found it hard to keep track of the trail during the day. But now that you've rested and stuff, you maybe take about half an hour or so looking around nearby where you've camped for the night until you find the tracks again. And as you suspected, they do take a slight turn east and into the South Downs. Now, those of you who have lived your entire life in Eriador, so particularly from Bree and Idril being a ranger, the South Downs aren't full of barrows, or not quite densely as full of barrows as the Barrow Downs.
That's on the
themselves.
other side of the road.
Yeah. But there are a few barrows here. Going back to the Kings of Arnor and Cardalan, and some of the barrows within the Barrow Downs and the South Downs are older still, to those middlemen that lived here before the Numenorians arrived. Plenty of places for a troll to hide. But midway through your day travelling into the Barrow Downs, some of you, scouts, lookouts, you notice in the fog another human-sized figure. This kind of time, they're kind of heading towards you from the direction that you're heading in.
Oh my. Gandalf, is that you? Oh.
Who else could it be?
Gandalf the best.
Gandalf a bit taller than a person, anyway.
Gandalf's a little bit taller.
Yeah.
And he would appear suddenly behind us and say something, not approach us from the front.
Yeah.
um,
Idro,
Hello there, everyone.
Idro, you can tell from the way that this person sort of moves and carries themselves through the fog that they are another Ranger of the North, another one of the Dunedain.
Oh.
And they slow as they notice your company sort of approaching from the direction that they're heading in. As you draw closer, Adriel, you recognise her as Halef of the Dunedain.
Aleph.
Halef.
As we're kind of approaching, I'll kind of let the rest of the party know that that I know who's kind of like approaching us, and as we kind of get closer, and we kind of get kind of like close, I'll be like, I'll ask Halef, what brings you here? I didn't expect to see you.
Adriel, wasn't expecting to find another one of our people here.
No.
The Downs. Normally I wouldn't be, but Gandalf, he asked me to keep my eye on the south roads to Eriador. I know that brigands and the like sometimes like to use the barrows here in the Downs as hiding places. I figured on my journey back to Bree I would pass through. May I ask what you and your companions are doing here in the Downs?
We're hunting a troll, if you would.
A troll?
Or not. A troll. It dug up a grave, and stole the corpse's leg and has run off up to these lands, and we think it's hiding out somewhere here. Don't suppose you've seen anything strange on your travels through here?
Haven't, but the troll that you speak of sounds familiar.
How so?
Yeah, in what way?
You said that it looted the grave for food.
Maybe not just food, and I'll tell her the rest of the tale.
Then I have two pieces of information that can help you. The troll you're looking for is an old and cunning creature for its kind. A good while past, it drifted a little bit too close to Rivendell.
Oh, that's it, taking its life in its hands, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It was scavenging for remains there as well. We managed to drive it off. Apparently, we drove it much further west than we'd thought. After a few days of pursuing it across the countryside, we lost track of it. But over time, I've heard some people in Bree talk about grave robbers and having no indication of what it was.
Yeah.
I took a look into what was going on. The track seemed to imply a troll, but the fact that it wasn't attacking the people of Bree, and you know how hard pressed we of the Dunedain are to patrol the lands here, I suppose I didn't think it was going to be too much of an issue. the other thing, she looks at Thomas.
We also all look at follow her gaze to Tomas.
Yeah, boring old Tomas at this point.
You resemble your uncle, boy.
Ah.
Hmm.
He does, doesn't he?
You said you were looking for. Might have taken a map.
We did.
The troll itself probably has no use for the map. It's probably too dumb to follow one. But if it's Tamian's map, I don't know if any of you remember, but 20 years ago in Bree was when Timian decided to pack in his adventures for good. He arrived in the town in the company of rangers and not those that he left with.
I remember him coming back, but I was like less than 10 years old at that point, so.
Then Timian, he travelled with a group of bandits is the best word for them. Apparently, a dispute broke out amongst the group of bandits. Timian ended up killing one of his former travelling companions, and they left him for dead. We found Timian here in the Downs. We took him back to Bree, but only after he gave us all the information he could on his former companions. So the old man is dead.
Yes.
Now, she's
He is.
telling you all that, and she said it 20 years ago. She doesn't look a day over 30. But then Idro is probably is a lot older than he seems as well.
Yeah.
Yep. For comparison, like I've placed Sydney at like 25 years old, which is why I said like less than 10 years old when I'm talking about 20 years ago. So like mid-20s. And she probably looks no older than him, I'd be guessing.
Yeah, aye.
Mm.
Probably a bit older, but not much.
A little bit older, but not that much older.
Not
yeah.
much. Yeah.
He seems to be dead all right. We heard it all. Over Bree.
Unfortunately, I can't help you on your hunt. I have to meet the Sons of Elrond.
Ooh.
Anything that concerns that we should be concerned about?
Not as yet. Not that I've seen, although they may have found information that I have not. But good luck on your hunt for this troll. As I've said, he's an old and sly one.
And good luck to you as well, Aleph.
And safe travels.
Yeah, safe travels.
And you've completely blurred out of existence.
Well, I know, it's got so dark.
Oh god, yeah.
What? Oh god.
But yeah, I'm fading in and out of existence, just like a
ghost.
A wraith. I was gonna say, but yeah.
It's in the graveyard.
Cool. With that, she'll give Adriel a salute. Wish
Our
the rest of
kind.
you a safe hunt. And she'll disappear in the direction that you came through the fog.
Yep.
We asked
Well-
her if she'd seen the troll passing by.
She hasn't seen the troll on her way here.
I think she said she saw tracks.
She mentioned tracks either, no.
They said they were hunting it earlier, but it wasn't exactly her concern as of
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
From the sounds of it, that was a long while back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll kind
Should
of
find
just
we continue down this path.
although let's be very careful. And for Halif to kind of speak highly, and I use the term highly kind of loosely, but they're still calling it wise and cunning. She wouldn't use those words lightly. We should
No.
tread with caution.
I think we've frozen again.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Yep. That's fine. I'll just pop Discord open for like 2 seconds and it should bring all the cameras back.
Yeah, it's just a Discord interaction thing. If you don't use it, it kind of freezes up.
Is that so? Well, yeah.
I think it's that idea of like you're not using it, so it wants to not do as much like work to your CPU and stuff like
To
that.
save resources.
To save resources, so it freezes all the cameras for a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know what did that.
But
I've always got it open in a separate window, so I've never noticed it do it before.
Yeah, likewise.
I should probably have. Yeah, I can open Discord down in my bottom monitor and that should stop it from happening.
Yeah.
Cool. Then, yeah, you guys part ways.
Oh no, we moved.
Yep.
And
Oh, we've blipped.
That's because that monitor is a different size.
Monitors.
There we go.
Okay. Then, yeah, you continue following the tracks that you'd found earlier in the day. Eventually the fog starts to grow thick to the point where it becomes very difficult to see your own hand in front of your face. Before you even realise it, you suddenly notice that none of your companions are as close by as they had been a few moments ago.
I guess I start shouting out to them.
Yeah?
I still see my companions, they're just further away.
No, by this point it's
We can't see them, essentially.
can't see each other.
Could I argue that point, seeing as like my main character trait is I'm like glued to Boren?
No, fair enough. What do you say, Andy?
But you're only like maybe chest high to Boren. You're probably the easiest one lost in the fog.
Yeah, I was just being like, because like Pearl would be following him as opposed to like walking, if that makes sense. But yeah, no, never mind.
What I'll do is I'll let you make the first scan roll to see if you can find your companions in the fog. Boren is shouting, calling out, which you can all hear, but with the fog it kind of muffles the sound and makes it hard for you to pinpoint the exact direction it's coming in.
Okay, right. There you go. Oh no. Not doing good on my rolls today, am I?
I feel.
I
Yeah.
also scan.
Okay. You start blindly searching for the fog, trying to follow the direction of Boren's voice, but to no avail.
Oh no.
I would like to also scan.
Okay, yeah, Boren, give me a scan roll.
Fine.
Failing. Yep. You're calling out. You're searching. The fog is so thick. There's a few times you think you've maybe found your companion, but instead you kind of put your hand on a large sort of cairn stone or something like that that's in the downs.
There you are. Oh,
That's
wait.
maybe hobbit sized.
Trip over it.
Yeah.
Ah, there you are. It crumbles on your hand, and you go, "Oh no!"
Oh no.
We
Oh,
killed her.
roll.
Oh no.
Bridget, would
Flash.
you like to give me a scan roll, please?
Yeah, sure. Oh,
Everyone fails.
Everyone failing. Yep. Cool. Stumbling blindly in the fog. Even the tracks of the troll that you were searching start to become a little bit hazy at this point. Never mind the direction that your companions are in. And to make it worse, if you were tracking the steps of the troll, you're probably the furthest ahead in the company.
looking at the ground instead of looking around.
Yep. Okay, Sydney. Scan
Yep.
roll, please.
Can roll.
Okay, feed you in a sec.
Oh my
Yo.
Oh
god.
dear.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Bad times all around.
Yep. Separated by the fog.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, you stumble around in the fog.
Mm.
Similarly, you maybe stumble across some loose cairn stones and things like that. Okay.
Although there's also a panic in Sydney's head that Tomas is also with us.
Yep.
Yep.
Also lost in the fog.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Ear or ear?
Killer.
Ear.
Yer.
Success.
Success. Finally, someone.
Hey.
Just.
Just a success. Okay.
Mhm.
Which one of your companions would you like to find?
Hmm. Who would I? Who would I like to find out of the bunch of you? I'd probably find Bridget because I'd be tracking along behind her.
Yeah. You are one of the scouts of the company, so that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. You eventually sort of stumbling through the fog. You grab a piece of cloth. Bridget, you feel something tugging your cloak from behind you, and then as you kind of turn around, both of you are sort of face to face in the fog.
Short face to face, but
Yeah, like
you know, you could have fallen over.
you have to look up,
Yeah,
but
face to somewhere. Yeah.
face to.
TOS.
At this point, you like probably hear a yell in the distance. For the record, this is Boring thinking that he killed Pearl.
I broke her head off with my bare hand.
No!
I don't know my own strength.
Idro, scan roll, please.
Yep.
To be fair, as a hobbit, would they even be able to find me?
No.
If I like
With
'cause don't you
some
need to-
difficulty.
Yeah.
With some difficulty.
Oh no.
Okay. So yeah, the group of you, for the most part, with the exception of Ear and Bridget, who found one another in the fog.
Keeping my hand on Ear's like shoulder so that we don't lose each other again.
Continue to stumble blindly in the fog.
No.
Okay. Peril, would you like to give me a scan roll again, please? Keep in mind, this is maybe the sort of situations that you might want to spend hope in.
How do I spend that then?
So you'll have your. Let me open your character sheet.
Gives you that option for like bonus dice.
Yeah. So Peril took. So yeah, under your heart rating, you've got your current hope. So you would just reduce that by 1. And then you can add an extra dice essentially to your scan roll when it asks you for it.
Bonus dice 1.
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
Oh,
Am I not connected to my
I've
character again?
I've just noticed that you're also favoured. So over on
Oh, dude, I've just realised I ain't been rolling as Pearl.
you know, it should be the only sheet that you have access to.
Yeah, no, but like it said Mashashi instead of Pearl. Anyway, never mind.
It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah,
No,
it's fine.
No.
So over on the left hand side of your sheet, conditions and modifiers. If you check favoured,
Okay.
and then give me that scan roll again, adding the extra dice to it, because you have it underlined, which means it's a favourite roll. There we go.
Nice.
There we go.
Finally.
And then you can change that back to normal.
I should have done that for that Explorer roll earlier, but that didn't really make much
Yeah, I
difference.
haven't been doing that either.
Only if you're. Is it only if you're spending hope? I'll need to double
Only
check.
depend-
I'll quickly double check that now. Favoured skills. It's in first edition. It was when you spent hope, you got the benefit of favoured. But I think they've changed that now.
All right.
I'm quickly going to go feed Loki.
Yep. Once you guys get through the fog, we're probably going to wrap up at that point.
If we get through the fog.
If you get through the fog.
I was just looking in my friend's Twitch channel and I was just refreshing my points and I realised that they'd shouted me out. I was like, God damn it.
Okay, that's different in second edition. All rolls made using favoured skills are favoured rolls, so you do not have to spend hope to gain the benefit of being favoured in second edition.
Can I get my point back then?
The point would have still gave you the extra d6.
You told me to do it.
I realised that it should have been also favoured when you made the roll, which is why I asked you to do the reroll.
It's fine. Let's move on.
Yeah, you've got plenty of hope.
I do now.
You've got the most hope in the company at 19 total. That's nice. Okay, but yeah, who? I'm asking who Peril would like to find in the fog, but I think I know the answer.
So Pearl's gonna go searching for Borin.
Yeah. Well, you come across Borin in the fog. Probably hands to his face. Thinking that he's accidentally knocked the head off a hobbit.
How could I do? How could this happen?
How could what happen?
Dad!
Man, you look like you've seen a ghost.
Think I might have.
Now that Peril is standing in front of you, if you look down, you can clearly see it's a pile of stone.
He mutters to himself when I feel stupid. Alright. Good, you found me. There's some very thick fog. Hold on to me, Pearl.
Unsettling. Hold
It's
on to me,
thicker.
Peril.
Are we ready for this one? It's thick than bowman cottons. Dew.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what?
It's thicker than his stew, his broth.
Oh.
Okay. With Peril in tow, Boring, could you give me a scan roll, please?
Yes, indeed.
Mind if you wanted to, you could spend hope. It's a fail. Yep. Nope. You're just kind of relieved that the Hobbit is alive. That she's with you. She's safe.
Yep.
Bridget.
Okay.
Ear of ear. One of you can help the other one here, which gives you an extra d6. I'm going to assume that that's how you'd be working anyway. You'd be helping each other
Yeah.
out.
Who's got?
I've got 3 in scan.
I think maybe I'll help you then, because I've only got 1.
Okay, then
Okay.
you get to add an extra d6, Sophie.
I just, in the bonus dice, just put 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Great success.
Yeah.
Oof, that
Oh, yeah.
means
That's a really good one. Yep.
you find 2 companions.
Find everyone.
So you can either find Sydney, Idro, or Borin and Peril.
Hmm. If 2 of the people are together, does that count as two separate
Just
people?
one. Just one.
So I could come across
3.
Borin.
Yep. In total.
Borin kind of sobbing, half sobbing, I don't know. Seeing more ghosts appearing out of the mist.
Borin won't be sobbing anymore. He's quiet once again because he found Pearl.
Yeah.
But he will call out to you.
Who else would I come across? I can, if you want, you can choose.
Okay. Then yeah, you and Bridget moving through the fog together, probably answering some of the calls or sounds from Borin. You can maybe hear Peril's voice as well. Come across the 2 of them. Shortly after, followed by Sydney, who was also kind of vaguely following the sound of Borin's sobbing.
Oh, there you are.
Well,
Or most of us.
yeah.
Meaning,
Is it true?
Missing the kid and the ranger.
Yeah. I mean, Idril can take care of himself, but Thomas, I'm slightly concerned about.
It's good to see you all, but where is Tomas?
With any luck, they found each other.
Idro, give me a scan roll.
Alright. I might pop a little bit of hope into this.
Yeah.
Let's just bring that down to 9. That's going to be bonus dice 1. Oh my god.
Failure.
No joy.
I'm not rolling well.
No joy.
Today.
Okay. You continue stumbling through the fog. You find your feet slip at a few points over some of the loose stones, and you find no signs of any of your companions. But eventually you do take a slip down one of the inclines of one of these hills that you're in.
Oh shit.
And the smell hits your nose. The smell of rotten flesh. Under your feet, some of what you initially thought was stones, you can now see are an assortment of mostly human bones.
Ooh.
Maybe the bones of a few animals here and there as well. And you can see the entrance of one of these barrows sort of opening like a large, broken toothed mouth in the fog in front of you. Now, the other 5 of you eventually stumble across Idro in this same opening in the barrow, but there's no sign of Tomas here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But this does seem like it would be the lair of a troll.
Yeah.
And I'm going
Smells good enough.
to end the session there.
Knew that was coming.
Yep.
And yeah, we will be back in 2 weeks for the second session of Shadows of the North, where we'll get to find out all about this troll, how you guys are going to deal with that, Probably a little bit more about Uncle Tim's treasure. But yeah,
And quite possibly see how combat works in second
we're going to
edition.
see how combat works in second edition. But yeah, I'd like to thank everybody that was in chat.
Thank you.
It's been a
Thank
nice
you.
active chat for most
Yeah,
of the day.
it's
as well.
been very active.
Always good. Always good to see.
Kelly, you cracked me up. Like, I nearly fully, like, belly chortled, like, so many times.
But yeah, we've seen some new people in the chat, which is always nice. Really
There's one
appreciate it.
first time chatter.
Yep. So yeah, thank you all. Next week on the channel, we're going to be doing Trial of Fire, which is our one-shot and review game, where we're going to be playing Lancer, which is going to be mega fun goodness.
A few of those assembled here will be taking part in said game.
Yep, a few people here are going to be playing Lancer.
Yep.
We made characters for this one, so that'll be interesting to talk about when we do the review episode. I have a feeling that this is probably going to be up on YouTube before any of the Trial by Fire games are, because I've decided that I'm not going to edit the Shadows of the North campaign for YouTube. I'm just going to let Twitch do its thing and automatically sort of upload them
Just
there.
the video.
So yeah, if you're wanting to watch, if you've missed it, you've came in late, you can catch it on Twitch while it's still on a VOD, or you can catch it over on YouTube, which is Lost Haven Games, I think, on YouTube. But yeah, thank you all very much for playing. I'll go through and let you say anything that you want to say, where you can find you again on if you're Twitter, if you're doing anything interesting. I have a game in half an hour after this over in the MDM Studios, because I'm an absolute masochist and decided to run 2 games back to back. But yeah, we'll go in the same order we started with. So Emma, please.
Thank you all for coming. Again, you can find me on Twitter at Gothhoblin. I'm not in any other streams. This is my only stream. So this is like my exclusive appearance or something.
Emma does make fun indie games and stuff that people should
Yeah, I've got
out.
a few, and I'm working on a submission for the one-page RPG jam at the moment, so it will hopefully come out in the next week or 2.
Nice.
So.
I think the next time that we're doing a small happy-go-lucky one-off stream like we did with Catfulu, we might run Trash Pals.
Yes, totally. Definitely.
Okay, David.
Right, yes. So thank you all for coming. You'll probably never see me again. Okay, I'll be back here in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm not really active anywhere on the internet. So yeah, I'll just look forward to the next game.
Cool. I'm looking forward to seeing more Borin and Pero interactions.
I've been wondering how to play. He's obviously like very grumpy uncle.
No, I can see that. That works.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Speaking of Pero, Mash.
I fully just had way too much sugar before starting this session, so I have no idea how I'm going to keep Pearl up next time. But yeah, I am back on Twitch on Friday. We're just about finished with Book Club, where we've been beta testing my 3rd novel on Twitch. The VOD should still be up. We're doing the finale hopefully this weekend. And then we've got a new issue of Treat Your Geek, which is our magazine that we do quarterly. You can get it on Amazon, or you can get hard copies on our website. And other than that, I'll be on DM Studios every week now, because I am joining their new Saturday campaign Booty, which is the pirate theme. And we're still descending into hell on the alternate week as well. So
Cool.
busy lady.
I've seen all the maps and stuff that Derek's been working on behind the scenes for Booty.
Guys, you are right. You are not prepared for the amount of stuff we put into Booty. Like, it is incredible. And in our one shot, we accidentally summoned a Kraken god. I'm just gonna leave that information as it is and not elaborate.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
Before I continue, can I say thank you, Kelly? I don't have an account, so I couldn't answer in chat.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, Roddy.
Yeah, hi, Roddy, or PunkDrum77 across Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, pretty much most of the internet. I do Twitch stream. I did my first one in several months last night, playing Stray, which was actually quite fun. Pretty much because I recently got the PlayStation Premium Plus thing that they're doing, or PlayStation Plus Premium, the thing that they're doing now, because it was really cheap for me to upgrade to the full package, and Stray was just added for free to that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just the release date just got added to the list of games I could download. So I'm
yeah,
like, okay,
it was awesome.
and but aside from that, the reason I've not been on Twitch at all for the past 2 months is I've been I've been playing a lot of gigs with several bands I play with, doing a lot of rehearsals, and attending a few music festivals.
Yeah.
The thing that's relevant to is at both at the music festivals I was at, I filmed basically a vlog for both Download and 2000 Trees festivals that I will be editing together and putting online for everyone's enjoyment to see how much fun me and all my friends at these festivals have. So keep your eye out for that. That aside, although I haven't streamed for a while, I am now committing to at least one stream a week, although I'm not committing to any schedule just now, so keep your eyes out for that.
Cool. Awesome.
Mm.
Sophie?
I'm Sophie. I do have online stuff, but I don't really do much with it, so even if you did find me, there's not much to really see. Yeah, I'm in a few of other streams with Andy. I will be in the Lancer game as well, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be your
And
first time on a trial by fire game. That'll be fun.
It will be.
Yeah, nice. So it is.
Hopefully I will not die, since everyone seems to die very quickly in those trial by fires from what I've heard.
That's not true. Jamie dies pretty much every trial by fire game that he's in.
Hopefully I'll last longer than Jamie.
My character's usually fine.
Like, we went down in the Dragon Age one, but it was very touch and go.
Yeah, that was touch and go.
That was just bad rolling. I've played plenty of Dragon Age and
everyone was kind of meant to die in Cult, so that's different.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Sophie did run the Cats of Cthulhu one shot that we did on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's still you can still watch it on the channel as a VOD. So
the bod's up.
it's a really fun, really rules-like game. We all had a blast with it.
Yeah. Fun.
First time DMing, so that was interesting.
You did great. I really enjoyed it. Steve.
Yeah, I'm Steve. I am the stereotypical grumpy old man who does not do any social media, so you won't find me online at all, other than if you see me on the stream. I will be on next week for Lancer. Just looking forward to that. But yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, that will be fun.
I'm looking forward to Lancer. I've been wanting to play it for ages.
Yeah, I didn't mention it, but I'm in Lancer as well.
Yeah, I think Sophie, Steve, Roddy, the three of you are in Lancer.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, gonna be fun. Big nets, lots of shooting things. I think we're doing a heist scenario, which will be.
I think my character will be vlogging
hilarious.
it the whole time.
You'll be vlogging it the whole time. But yeah, thank you all for coming. I'm not going to bore you with all my social media stuff. The chances are, if you're already in the chat, you probably follow me everywhere. But if you jump over to DMDM Studios in like 20 minutes, we'll be having some chaos in the 41st millennium. Where
I'm gonna hop over for that as well. Yeah,
probably one player is probably going to die because they didn't finish the last session in a particularly healthy place.
I do remember the 40k role playing games being quite lethal.
Yeah, it's pretty lethal.
In my limited experience of them.
But yeah, thank you all again for joining, and we will catch you next time. Have a good afternoon, evening.
Thank you.
We could raid out. I feel kind of bad that Derek's not on, but I have just a person to raid into. I'm going to raid into Heroes and Hooligans because Hooli is a friend of mine and Derek's, and they usually jump into a lot of Derek's games.
They do, yeah.
So, but I'm always bad with the raid sort of stuff.
Yep, we're here to remind you. It's fine.
That was
Is it-
like me last night when I finished the Stray stream and there was no one I knew online.
Okay.
Well, I'm just ending.
I'm gonna have to introduce you to some peoples because there's a lot of really amazing British Twitch streamers that I've made friends with over the last couple of weeks, months even. So yeah, there's a lot of us.
I've
Well,
picked
I've just
up a
had one of
few,
those, like Chuck shouted me on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, bless Chuck.
So I think they're currently doing like a talk show podcast type thing over in Heroes and Hooligans just now, but they also do actual plays and sometimes they talk about serious stuff. So yeah, we're gonna raid over. Thanks again and catch you next time.
Bye.
Thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.